Welcome to episode 51 of Outside the Circle, a podcast dedicated to new and upcoming country artists, musicians, and songwriters. Today's guest will be Payton Howie. We'll get to her in a little bit. But first, I'm Ronnie, and here's Brian.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome to another episode, and we're building on episode 50, so we're still going.
Yeah, it's hitting 50 felt like a everything came, all the weight came off, and then I was like, oh, we're still doing this. Hold on, we need to keep going.
Yep, we're still back at it. This seems like it's going to be a really fun interview.
We're definitely going to dive into some stuff with her, but before we get to that, it is December now, so we officially earlier this week ran the November Boots of Europe single of the month, and winner, second time of the year, Liam Coleman with Vintage.
Grandpa used to let me play them models. Dylan, Hank, and Cash is just my style. I still play that guitar that my daddy gave to me. He bought it back in high school. It was mine when I turned 16. You may think I'm old-fashioned, but vintage is cool to me.
Yeah, so like I said, for the second time in 2021, Liam comes out with a winner for single of the month, and the first one was back in January with Someone Better Than You, but fantastic, especially to do it twice.
Yeah, he was on the podcast a few episodes back, and I remember even saying just like he's such a good songwriter, such a good player. So it's not a surprise to me that he keeps pulling out these wins.
No, not at all. Surprised though, what I think is cool, and normally we kind of just throw the first one out there and that be that. Second and third place, very close. 1, 2, and 3 were very close together, and then they kind of blew the rest of the competition out of the water. But first was Liam, like we said. Second place, now forgive me, I'm going to say both of these names wrong, but I'm going to go with Nicole Fracci of Italy, and third place was Neil Umwi of India. So pretty cool to see the worldwide view of this come together again.
Yeah, I think that's really cool about this competition is that we get to see, country music from around the world, and it takes everybody from all types of corners of the country to vote on these, and the fact that these three from very separate areas are being recognized is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's important, these are from all over the world. We've been obviously working with Boots of Europe and staying in the European market. And it's really cool I think this is the first Italian country singer that, to my knowledge, that I've become aware of. But not only that, but also the first country singer from India. And I do suggest, I got to check it out the other day. I do suggest, if you want to hear more from Neil, go to Route 66 Country Music's Instagram page, at RT66 Country Music. He did a really cool live the other day with her. That was fantastic. Learned a lot about him and India and where country music fits in that culture. So it was really cool. And Nicole could also be found all over Boots of Europe's page this past week. So definitely go check both of them out. And also Liam Coleman. Congratulations again, man.
Yeah, no, this is really cool, and I'm glad that this is going on. We got one more month to go before we do our big winner take all.
Yeah, one more month for December, and then the single of the year will be between those 12 winners. So yeah, that'll be cool. Keep an eye out for that come January, February timeframe. But in the meantime, let's go to Payton.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. We're here today with Payton Howie. Welcome to Outside the Circle, Payton.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for joining us. We're very excited for this. We I mean, I guess let's just start right from the beginning. So tell us about where you're from and, you know, what music was like growing up and all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah. So I was born and raised out in Southern California, about an hour north of San Diego. And I've always loved like country music and the story that it tells. And out there, it's more of a rock blues scene, you know? So I was out there playing country music since I was about 15, 16 years old. And I was one of the only ones doing it out there. I mean, obviously there's definitely a California country scene out there, but just in my little hometown, I was one of the only ones doing it. And
where are you from out in California? I lived in Los Angeles for about 2 years. So yeah.
I was
where at?
Temecula.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah, not much of a country scene in that area. So yeah.
No, not at all. But you know, and don't get me wrong, I love California. I mean, and the people that I, you know, grew up with and the music family that I have out there. But so I was born and raised out there. Then about a year and a half ago, my family moved out to Texas, like the Houston area. And I'm out in Nashville and just kind of touring, playing shows and doing stuff like that. I've been doing it for a while now, since I was about 15. And that's just kind of the thing. You know, it's like my style is country with a little bit of a rock twist to it.
What were you listening to?
Yeah, I love a lot of like the Gretchen Wilson style country music, where it's like, you know, got that more like country rock style, or I kind of take a little bit of influence from Reba. You know, she's a great storyteller. I love a lot of the traditional greats on the female side of it, you know, Loretta Lynn and Dolly. But I love that, you know, that little edge of, you know, some of the females in rock, you know, Stevie Nicks and Janis Joplin kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, you can definitely hear that in a lot of your music too. That rock growl that you have in your voice also is you can definitely hear it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to jump ahead a few of my questions then. So you mentioned Gretchen Wilson, and you know, when you go online and you search for Payton Howie, a lot of praise, like leading women of the next generation of redneck, and you know, all American, you know, all that stuff comes up. What do you think it is about you that people see, I guess, a modern day Gretchen Wilson in you?
You know, I think it's a lot of the females that are doing really well and that are, you know, kind of leading the female side of country are doing some softer stuff, doing some more pop country things, which, don't get me wrong, I have respect for every and any genre type of music, but I think country music is lacking that strong force of females that are just like kicking butt, you know, taking names. I feel like the guys in country music are doing a great job with that. I feel like there's a few women out there that are still kind of getting that little country rock, you know, kind of kick butt feel in there, like some Miranda Lambert here and there. And Ashley McBride's kind of got that going on, you know, like you got some like girls with a more of a grind in the red dirt scene, you know, Morgan Wade, Ashlyn Kraft. But I feel like there's you know, there's room for the girls to kind of have more of a fire in the country music scene, and that's what I want to bring with my music.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more that there needs to be more, and it's growing, of women bringing that fire, like you said. And you know, it's, I hate to say it this way, but it's tiring hearing the same guy sing about the same topic over and over again. That you know, now that we're, I don't know the word that's coming to my head, but it's refreshing, I guess, is what I'm getting to. That you know, it's not either bubblegum pop or it's not like the Luke Bryans of what they're doing in the radio and all that. So yeah, no, I'm on board for it.
Totally. Yeah, no, I think when there's some women out there doing it, that's awesome. So I just want to be a part of it.
Yeah. So another female artist that I think we need to talk about is when you were 5, you got on stage with Carrie Underwood at a show of sorts and all that stuff. So I guess one, being 5, I don't know how much you actually remember of that, but what do you remember of that experience, and how that, I guess, shaped you to start playing music at 15 and continue?
Yeah, so that was my very first concert. And I think, I don't know, regardless of what age you are, I feel like to a certain extent, everybody kind of remembers their first concert and just the feeling and all that. And so it was kind of like this outdoor thing. And we were sitting in this row, and I was dancing out in the aisles of chairs, and the lights were kind of panning across the audience. And one of them stopped on where I was just kind of dancing, and she like knelt down and she stopped singing, and she tells her bodyguard, she like tells him, hey, go bring that little girl up on stage. So he comes over and he like says to my mom, oh, Carrie wants your daughter on stage. So my mom's like, okay, sure. So he brings me up there, puts me up on the stage with her, and she was like holding my hand and we were singing. But that was when she was on her Some Hearts tour right out of American Idol. And I just remember getting to see the faces of everybody just getting down with the music and all coming together over, one thing. And, to this day, I still remember that feeling and that fire and desire to want to be a performer and want to be out there and sharing music with people that are, showing up to listen to it.
Yeah. I as you were saying that, I kept thinking, imagine your mom said no, like how that would have just shaped everything else after that.
I imagine total life change right there.
Yeah. And she's like, nah, she's good. She'll stay here.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. No. So I do want to obviously talk about the music side of things. So before we do that, I think it's probably best that we play one of your songs so that everybody could kind of have some basis going forward. So why don't you go ahead and introduce the song we're going to play for you, and then we'll talk about it when we come back from the break.
Yep. This is my latest single. It's called Never Go Home.
Always
right, so let's talk about Never Go Home. I guess first and foremost, what was the inspiration behind that song for you?
We wrote that song. I wrote that song with a couple of my writers out here in Nashville, Michael Austin, Eric Helbig, and Joanna Yeager. We wrote that song, it just has those party vibes. We wrote it towards the end of 2020, and thinking back on just the times where we were able to just, let loose and have a good time with, with good people. That was kind of the inspiration behind all that. And, especially living in a time in the world where we don't have every opportunity to get to be with those people that we care about and get to have a good time with everyone. And so that's kind of what that song is like, we're going to go out and have a good time. And if you don't like it, like, oh, well, that was kind of the vibe behind it. And it was also a part of a project that I'm releasing come first quarter in 2022. And that was just one of the aspects of who I am as an artist, who I am as a person, is just like, I love to do a lot of things. I love country music, but every now and then I like to have a little bit of fun and I like to party sometimes. So, that was it.
Yeah, this, I dig this song. I think it definitely, showcases what you're all about. The women in charge and kicking ass and rocking out is awesome. I really enjoy this one. And your lyrics are like, they tell a great story of just like, we're here to have fun and we don't care who shows up, or if you do, if you don't. I'm totally into it.
Thank you. That was totally kind of the inspiration behind the song and the inspiration for the video, the music video that came out. And that's exactly how we filmed it. We pretty much just threw a party and then invited a camera guy. That's just kind of how.
Yeah, well, that's how you get the best results of anything is when it just happens. But yeah, I mean, I'll piggyback Brian that I think this song one definitely, if there's any, I know we talked this morning getting ready for this, that, whatever showcases you as an artist, like this is it, like this is who you are. You're a strong vocalist, you're a strong writer, and you put out a hell of a song. So I very excited for this song and whatever is going to come forward, especially now that 2021, what are we in 2020, 2021? Now that 2021 is coming to an end. You mentioned that you have a project coming in the new year here. Would that be the EP that we keep seeing online? And if so, what can you tell us about that so far?
Yep, I got an EP coming out first quarter of 2022. I'm really excited. It's going to be the first, collection project that I put out. Up to this point, I've put out a lot of singles, and this is going to be the first collection type project that I'm putting out. And honestly, I'm really excited because the process of creating it and everything has helped me to grow so much just as an artist and in my writing and figuring out who I am as a performer, writer, and just as a person in figuring out the music that I want to share with people and the music I want to put out. And this project kind of encompasses that feeling of just like, hey, this is kind of an introduction to who I am as an artist. It really does range from every aspect to, hey, this is me. I like to have a good time. I like to party, even to, hey, this is me, showing my respect for the greats of country music, or, discussing like more like real deep stuff in life or things like that. It kind of ranges from all sides. So I'm really excited to share it with everyone.
You mentioned the deep topics, I guess, of things that are happening, in life in general and all that. I feel like what always made country music so great is that it was always so real. And I also feel like lately we've kind of been going away from that. So I think it'll be nice and refreshing to have that. And I definitely look forward to that. I'm a fan of the songs that mean something. So I can't wait to hear those.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's definitely important as, music in general. I think it should be multifaceted. I think there should be all different kinds of music. You don't have to just listen to party songs. You can kind of branch out and kind of talk about different things every now and then.
Yeah. So let's I guess, take a step back from that and talk about your songwriting process as a whole. So what does that look like, and, you know, where you draw inspiration from and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the time going into a write, I try to think about things that I've actually experienced and things that I've really been feeling, rather than like, hey, I want to write a party song, or hey, I want to write something about something I've never experienced. I think that's kind of, you know, hard to try and put a song into a box. I think you have to just kind of let it be creative and stuff. And I've experienced that sometimes where I'll go into a write and try to force something. And that's kind of when it doesn't work. Usually the best songs in my experience that I've written or that I've witnessed being written is when it's just kind of free flowing. We're all sitting around eating snacks, talking, or someone says something and we're like, that would be a good song. Or you hear something and you're like, oh yeah, no, we should write something like that. Or that would be a good line. And it's usually, not to sound careless, but it's usually by accident. It's usually by just kind of happens, you know. Usually when things are not forced is when they're the best.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. We talk about like being authentic as a writer a lot on the show, and that, you know, that is a form of authenticity where, you know, you're not forcing anything to happen, and when you're around people that you like to be around and you're just having conversations, that's when those light bulbs go off. And then it just becomes, because you're already comfortable around the people that you are with, that, you know, to write a good song comes easy, quote unquote.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like, personally, like, I mean, I've written a ton of songs on my own, but I have a lot of co-writes, and my single Freedom was co-written by myself, my friend Michael Austin, and Eric Halbig, and Joanna Yeager. We were all sitting around writing this song, and it's a patriotic anthem type song. And we, you know, I mean, anywhere you go, you're going to meet people that don't always believe the same thing as you. Not everyone has the same convictions or opinions about everything. So not everyone thinks the same thing. And we're all sitting there writing this song about our country back in the end of 2020, which is kind of a real sensitive time for our country. I would, you know, if I'm just being blatantly honest. And something that was cool about it is, even though that every person in that room writing that song had a different opinion or political view or belief, we all came together and wrote that song. And the fact that we were able to sit in a room and have the ability to do that together is what freedom is. And that's something we talked about is, you know, we have freedom in our songwriting, and we have the ability to do that because of the country we live in and because the freedoms that we have, thanks to the people that go out there and fight for them.
Yeah, I really like that you just said that, you know, we see a lot of co-write situations, and you know, I think maybe I'm off base, but I think that's more the norm than it is not. But you see all these co-writes, and you don't really think that everybody is coming from somewhere else. So whether it's a patriotic song like you just said, or if it's, you know, a love song or whatever the case is, everybody brings their own piece to it. And I think that you just hit it perfectly, and that it's great that you're able to do that and able to have difference of opinions and make it mean something at the end of the day. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's what music's all about, right? Making something that people can relate to, regardless of what that is. And yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. You got it.
Yeah. So on your website, I noticed that you have quite a full touring schedule for the next handful of months going on here. I was going to ask that there is a lot of Texas on there, but I guess it makes sense. Your family's down there now. You know the area very well. But what would somebody who's never seen you before, what should they expect at a show of yours?
You know, I always kind of like to put on a high energy show. I always come in there, you know, trying to, you know, get people singing with me, get people dancing, get people, you know, interacting. I'll ask, you know, talk a lot, and just kind of make people feel something is kind of the goal of me going out and playing music. And I always, you know, will tell stories or backstory. I play a lot of unreleased music at my shows too. So that's definitely something to expect, is just, I try my best to put on a high energy, fun show.
No, that's awesome. And I mean, you're doing it often. So I'm assuming keeping that energy up is, could be quite hard sometimes, but I'm sure it's worth doing. So
yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. It's, I think sharing music with other people, whether it's something I wrote or just someone's favorite song, has got to be one of my favorite things.
Yeah. So we mentioned the EP coming out. We mentioned you got a bunch of shows going on, outside of the releasing music and the playing of the music. Anything big coming down the line that you have, whether personally or musically?
Yeah, I have another single coming out before the EP drops. I have another single coming out in January that I'm really looking forward to. And I have an acoustic performance video of that single dropping 2 weeks following the single. And I'm really excited about that. Got a lot of really cool features on the video. And I'm just really looking forward to sharing. It's a bit of a different song from what I've put out recently. It's kind of got a little bit of a different tone to it and a little change of pace. And I'm really excited to kind of share that different side of my artistry with people. So
yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to the new stuff. Definitely going to keep following along. You want to let the listeners know where they can find you?
Yeah, I got everything. I got my Instagram, Payton Howie Music, PaytonHowie. I got my website, PaytonHowie.com. All my show listings, merch on there, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Spotify. I got it all. So I'd love staying connected with everybody. So thank you guys for having me, and I appreciate y'all listening.
Yeah, no, we're very excited to see everything you got going on. Everything you have going on has been fantastic. And I mean, we keep saying that we very much look forward to what the future is going to bring for you. And we hope that everybody listening follows along with you. And yeah, no, it's going to be quite a ride for you, and we're excited to see it.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, so that was our interview with Payton Howie. And Brian, I think the number one thing that I take out of that is her confidence is contagious. Very confident and very good at what she's doing.
Yeah, I think through that interview and then, listening to her songs, her respect too for all of the country music greats, all the way back to, like she said, Loretta Lynn, up to Reba and Gretchen Wilson, I think is really refreshing to see in a young artist that can pay tribute to the older style of country music and where that kind of came from, and that storytelling feel like we all love. And I think she does that in her music. And I really thought that was a really cool aspect of her.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we talked about freedom in the interview, and that is the song we're going to play at the end here. But even, I wanted to dive into that a little deeper, that such a clever and well-written song, and her as an artist, I know I said it in there too, but her as an artist, like, she killed it as a vocalist. She killed it as a writer, and they did such a phenomenal job on that song. And hopefully everybody's sticking around till the end to hear that one.
Yeah, definitely stick around to the end. One thing we'd love to hit up every episode now is to check out our Patreon site. That again is patreon.com/outside the circle podcast. And if you want to become more involved in the podcast, check out all the different tiers of membership we have available.
Yeah.
We want to thank Payton Howie for coming on Outside the Circle. Be sure to follow her on all of her social media and music listening platforms. We'll leave you today with Payton Howie's Freedom.
First time driving daddy's old Ford, flying down an old dirt road, burning gas, no place to go, Van Halen on the radio. Touchdowns on Friday nights, sneaking sips at one Coors Light. His jersey fits just right. First kiss, yeah, I just might. Ooh. That feels like freedom, freedom. Ain't scared of fighting for freedom, freedom. Oh Lord, I'm thankful for colors that don't run. I'm proud of where I'm from. Oh, that feels like freedom, freedom. Signed up birthday 18. He said, will you wait for me? Headed out overseas. Oh boy, I wanna be your last taste of freedom, freedom. Ain't scared of fighting for freedom, freedom. Oh Lord, I'm thankful for colors that don't run. I'm proud of where I'm from. Oh, that feels like that feels like freedom. That feels like freedom, freedom. Freedom, freedom. That feels like freedom, freedom. That feels like freedom, freedom. Ain't scared of fighting for freedom, freedom. Oh Lord, I'm thankful for colors that don't run. I'm proud of where I'm from. Oh, that feels like freedom, freedom. First time driving daddy's old Ford.